Hey there YouTubers, welcome to Blazebeat Racing. Today I'm making a short question and answer video for you guys. I made a post over a week ago under the community tab on my channel where a bunch of you guys asked some questions for this video. So I have a list of questions here. I'll try to pronounce your channel names right, and in the background I'll have some Wangan Midnight manga art for you guys to enjoy. Um, Thanks again for all the continued support on my channel. Stay tuned because I got lots of good content coming up. And off we go. So the first questions are from Koichiro Akitani. He asks, are you a Nissan GTR person or a Toyota Supra person? For me it really depends on the year, but of all the generations of Supras and GTRs, the C110 Skyline GTR is easily my favorite. For those of you that are not familiar with the C110, it was made back in the 70s and it's just a really cool looking classic car. It was only made for Japan, so JDM only. But in general, if I had to choose between a GTR or Supra, I would have to go with the GTR because the RB series engines are amazing and they sound awesome. And I know the 2JZ is a big hit and everything, but I'm not actually a fan of the 2JZ. I mean, I appreciate how the engine was made, that it's a really good build platform and everything, but it's super mainstream and I'm not really that mainstream. And the RB series has a lower center of gravity for circuit racing, so that's another big plus, and to me the RB series sounds better, but I mean, it's all personal preference. The next question from Koichiro is, which generation of the Nissan Silvia do you like best and why? I'd have to go with the S15. I've always loved the body styling and it's the fastest of the Nissan Silvias. Do you think the new A90 Supra is a good car or not? And my answer to that is that I think it's a great car performance wise and the body styling is pretty good, but I feel like the car has lost the heart and soul of a true driver's car. The driving experience is not nearly as rewarding as older Supras either. The next question is from Drift King 101. What do you think of the 400Z? I think it has the potential to be an amazing sports car. I'm disappointed that it's going to have a V6 instead of going back to the inline 6. But if they give it a standard transmission option, that'll make up for it. From the shadowy outline of the car they have released, it looks like it'll be a great looking car, but there still is a chance that they could botch the front end. So hopefully that turns out good. The next question is from Slow Fucking Miata. How did you become a car guy and what got you into the JDM community? I've always been interested in cars, but Initial D inspired me to take things to the next level and got me really interested in JDM cars. The next couple questions are from Jordan Price. What got you into Wangan Midnight and why do you like it? After I bought my 280ZX, I wanted to see if there was an anime featuring a Z car, and that's how I found Wangan Midnight. I like Wangan Midnight because I can relate to many of the characters in it, and the high-speed multi-car battles are exciting. The characters have the same passion for speed and tuning as I do. They are competitive, and yet they are friends with each other throughout the storyline and even help each other with tuning. He also asks, what would your ideal Wangan racer car be? Probably the R33 GTR because it is an excellent build platform for high-speed freeway racing, and one of my favorite GTRs. That's why they're so popular in Wangan Midnight. But depending on how the new 400Z turns out, I might even choose it over the R33. Most people would probably choose an exotic supercar for this, but they are hard to source parts for and expensive to maintain, so that makes them impractical for racing hard on a regular basis. Fireblade Meta asks, what's the fastest you've gone in your cars? Unfortunately, I can't disclose that for security reasons, but I will say that the speedometers in my 280ZX and Mustang do not go high enough to actually read their top speed. Have you ever thought of starting a street racing gang like the real Wangan Midnight was based off of? I have considered it, but realized that street racing gangs never end well. I mean, just look what happened in the Midnight Club. But I did start a car driving group this spring called the Sunset Runners. I handpicked a handful of friends that are skilled drivers with sports cars, and we meet up every couple weeks for a spirited group drive on the back roads. We also convoy to car meets. Eventually, we plan to compete at autocross events and hopefully go on bigger trips to the Area 27 racetrack. And the third question from Fireblade Meta is, what's your dream car build? My dream car build would have to be my 82 Datsun 280ZX, fully restored, updated, and built to my preferences. If I had the funds, I would give it a fresh paint job and do a rear bumper delete. I would also build the L28 up to around 350 horsepower, which is plenty of power for such a lightweight car. And that way I can keep my stock drivetrain. For now, I am enjoying the car as I methodically upgrade a few things each year. Next up, Katamari-kun asks, what is your dream car? That is a tough one, but probably the 67 Shelby GT500. My uncle happens to own one that is the ideal representation. It's a 10-second car. Alan Zayafet iJazz asks, what is your first car and your current car? My first car was an 86 Toyota MR2 Mark I, and I currently own an 82 Datsun 280ZX, a 2005 Mustang GT Premium, and a 94 Mazda Miata. T.O. asks, do you play Gran Turismo Sport? Yes, it is one of my favorite games. The driving physics are very realistic. Wointel02 asks, do you wish they make another car anime since we won't be able to keep this alive forever, as both Initial D and Wangan Midnight have ended a while back? Yes, of course, I think Wangan Midnight deserves a season 2 at least, because they have easily enough manga content that hasn't been covered, and they could have much better character animation. They could also start something completely different, maybe based on one of the other racing mangas. There's a few to choose from. The last question is from Don and Nguyen. V6 or inline 4? For me, it depends on the particular engine and the car it's going in, but generally I will choose an inline 4 over a V6 because it's a well-balanced engine that is less complex. And aside from the Hondas, the inline 4s usually sound better. So there you have it, guys, my first question and answer video. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.